Well, today I received a parcel in the mail. This is something that I ordered off of eBay, so I'm just gonna open it up and show you what it is. Well, I gotta say, this packaging looks a little bit overwhelming. I know that the item that's inside of this box is nowhere near the size of the box, so I'm going to have to take out all of this packaging so I can get to the little item. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to guess what it is, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. I had to actually, when I ordered this item through eBay, the original seller didn't ship to Canada. So actually, my friend Dot from the doll cupboard actually purchased this item for me and had it shipped to her home in the United States. And then she shipped it from there to me. So it kind of came about in kind of a roundabout way, but I just had to have this house when I saw it, and I thought it was like really a super unique little house, and very, very, very different from, yeah, very well. I would say it's similar to some of the houses that I have, but in a way, it's very different from the houses that I have. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Can you believe how much packaging is in here? So the original seller really did a good job of packaging this up. So Dot never opened it. I told her she could if she wanted to, but she just left it in the original package and then just shipped it along to me. So I've got it now out of the box. And as you can see, it's wrapped up quite nicely. So check this little baby out. This is a very, very tiny, tiny little house. So it's 1/24 scale and just absolutely adorable. So I love it. It's only got one room, but I love it. I love absolutely everything to do with this house. I think it is really, really quite cute. So you can see there's a little bit of damage on the roof. And I do know that it is missing a chimney. I'm not going to do anything to this house at all, other than I may just replace that chimney because that little spot kind of annoys me. So you can see here from all the different angles. And it is a side opening dollhouse, which is the first time I've ever owned a dollhouse that actually opens at the side. And yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this little placement here of the hook to open it up. So, but you can see here how tiny she is. So there you go. I've got the door open. And isn't that just precious? I just love this little house. It's so cute. I just think it's just adorable. I can hardly wait to decorate it, and I've got really big plans for this house. I'm going to tell you all about how the house was made and who made it, and everything quite shortly here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a history class on this company, but look at that. Isn't that just absolutely adorable? Yeah. I like the orange too. It's very different. You don't really see that color very often, do you, in doll houses? So, yes, I think once this little house is all decorated up, it's just going to be just absolutely beautiful. So, how cute is that? So, the one thing I will tell you about the house, just to start, is it is made in Germany. So you can see here there's a little stamp that says made in Germany. And it's very, very, very tiny. Like, wow. I just think it's adorable. And here's a close-up of the little windows. And somebody very crudely cut those windows out. That's not original. And there's a little lithograph door, and somebody cut that window out. I guess they wanted more light inside their dollhouse. So, aw, so cute. Just absolutely so sweet. So I plan on making this into a little Christmas house, and when I give you some more information about it, you'll understand why. So this house was actually sold by Gimbel Brothers Department Store, and it was actually branded Gimbel Brothers on it. Even though it says that it was sold in the 1900, I think it's actually closer to 1920 is when this house was actually sold. And it was actually manufactured by Gottschalk. Gimbel Brothers was founded in 1842 by Adam Gimbel, shown here in the photo. His first retail business was in Indiana, and it was in 1842. His sons later started Gimbel Brothers in Milwaukee in 1887, and later expanded to Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and New York. And for 181 years, they were a well-respected department store. By 1930, they had expanded to 20 stores, and they were the largest department store in the world by 1935. In 1935, they had 53 stores, and they became so successful that in 1922, the chain went public, offering shares on the New York Stock Exchange. In 1923, Gimbels purchased Saks and Company, which operated under the name Saks 34th Street and also the famous Saks Fifth Avenue. They also owned tons of radio stations. The Depression did take a toll on Gimbels, and they didn't expand until 1935. But by 1930, the chain had a net worth of $123 million. By today's dollars, that net worth was $3.3 billion. Gimbel's principles in merchandising were to seek out and reflect the middle-class American, attracting shoppers with items that were suited to almost everybody's budget. They kept their stores plain and used the slogan, "The customer pays for fancy frills." So they tried to keep their prices really low. Unlike the other department stores of the time, they were not a posh department store. It was a place where everyday people could afford to buy their wares. The first department store to actually do a parade. Gimbel started to do a Thanksgiving parade in 1920 in Philadelphia. Many Americans think Thanksgiving Day parade were started by Macy's, but Macy's didn't do the first Thanksgiving parade until 1924. Sadly, 1987 was the end of this well-established American institution. Being Canadian, I never had a chance or opportunity to shop at Gimbel's, but my memories of Gimbel's relate to the movies. It's a time-honored tradition in many homes to watch the 1947 Miracle on 34th Street starring Maureen O'Hara, John Payne, and a young Natalie Wood with Edmund Gwenn, focused on a Gimbel's Santa Claus who actually is the real Santa Claus. I can't tell you how many Christmas days I've spent watching this particular movie. Gimbel's department store was also featured on the movie Elf, starring Will Ferrell as a real-life Christmas elf who's employed by Gimbel's department store. It's funny because Gimbel's was long finished, but they recreated Gimbel's in order to make this movie. I think that's because Gimbals is just synonymous when it comes to Christmas in many people's hearts and minds. This little dollhouse that was built by God's Chalk and sold at Gimbals, made in Germany, lacks some of the luxury or details of a typical God's Chalk creation. However, this tiny, affordable doll's house was priced for the average American household. And in the spirit of my ideals about Gimbal Brothers, I plan to make this little house into a tiny little Christmas house and decorate it fully for Christmas. So it's going to be Christmas all year round in this little dollhouse. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Also, please hit the notification button so you know whenever I'm putting out a new video. Thank you once again for joining me today, and like always, have the best day ever.